And as we begin, I couldn't help but think of what a year of celebration this has been for our church. So I hope you'll allow me to share just 4 celebrations that I could think of this weekend. First, you might remember that it was just 9 months ago, in the month of January, that one of our members felt the promptings of the Spirit to give a major financial donation to our church to help with the gap in our budget. And then 140 plus other ones of us responded to the prompting of the Spirit as well, in what became really a spontaneous thing called Miracle Match. And we far exceeded our goals, raising $170,000 in just 10 days. All of us gave a little bit more to create massive impact for the whole. And I have to tell you that moment of generosity and of deep faith and trust in God and in this community has carried me through this year. It was so inspirational, and it continues to be. It reminds me of the words of the Apostle Paul that God can do more than we can ever ask or imagine. And not only that, Calvary, it reminded me that we have it within us to fund our ministry. We have more than enough. The second big celebration I've been thinking about, of course, was my 15th anniversary as your pastor just a few weeks ago. What a gift it is to know and to be known by a community of faith. And that kind of knowing only happens with tenure and time. Now, we have celebrated actually quite a few staff anniversaries lately. Have you noticed? So I celebrated my 15th. You may or may not know that our accountant, LaJuan Jones, has been with us over 12 years. Morgan will be celebrating 10 years with us in just a few short months. Mary and Angela are in their 6th year. This past year, we celebrated Alice and David and Denise upon their 5-year anniversaries. We've got 2 new folks on our staff, Chad with facilities and EE and accounting, both in their 2nd year. And Chol, she's been working in the nursery as long as I can remember. So why am I talking about our staff and how long we've been here? Because it represents stability and commitment, both on the part of we, your staff, but also on the part of you, Calvary, the congregation. Staff only stick around at churches where we are respected, trusted, and able to use our gifts and passions for ministry. And a congregation only keeps staff and supports staff that they feel like are leading them in meaningful and purposeful ways. And the other thing I'll say is that staff stability and tenure, it does result in increased staff relations budget each year, right? That's one of the things that comes along with tenure. But I have to say that having lived through seasons where there is some up and down and a lot of staff turnover, when that's happening, our focus kind of becomes putting out fires, maintaining what we can while we transition and train and regroup, and we don't have the space to dream. But what have we been doing this year, Calvary? We've been dreaming together. And that's my 3rd celebration, that we have been embarking on this discernment process of listening to where God is leading us. You have been willing to share honestly, to evaluate, to reimagine what our ministry at Calvary might look like, and we are just at the beginning of this process. And I have seen the gifts of our lay leadership on a whole new level this year, and I am so grateful. To be engaged in this kind of unknown process, which can be scary at times, I know, it indicates strong congregational health, right? Churches that are unhealthy or dying, they don't do this work. Churches that know they have a passion and purpose in the present and a calling for the future do. And then my 4th celebration is that I got to go to Louisville, Kentucky 2 weeks ago to receive an award on your behalf, Calvary. I was with Baptist Women in Ministry to accept the Church of Excellence Award for you all. They put together a beautiful video of Calvary's ministry, which if you come to worship next week, you'll get to see. And person after person kept coming up to me and essentially saying a version of the same thing, which was, "Wow, your church is so amazing." And I just got to smile and nod and say, "I know, my church is amazing." And not that I ever forget that you're amazing, Calvary, but, you know, we can take things for granted from time to time. And being in that space and hearing some stories of other churches that are deeply struggling or colleagues who are not able to find placements for their call, I welled up with an immense sense of gratitude for who you are, Calvary, for who we are together, that we're a Christ-like community that experiences and shares God's love, striving every day to be open to all, closed to none. So I have to tell you, warn you, whatever the case may be, that with all of this celebration, perhaps more than any other year in my ministry at Calvary, I'm entering stewardship at an all-time high. And if you know me, you know I already kind of get giddy around stewardship season. I know a lot of pastors don't like this time of year, but I love it. And I love it because Damon and I love to give generously to this place, to this people that we care so deeply about. Every month, our money goes to mortgage and bills, retirement and insurance. And how great is it that a big part of our income comes back to this place that feeds us and nourishes us? What a gift. And I'm so excited for the passion and energy of Calvary at this time in this place. It is well with Calvary financially. Can we proclaim that together? It is well with Calvary financially. And it will be well with each and every one of us doing our part. The great thing about financial wellness in our church is that we have agency in this. What we give is up to each and every one of us and to how God is speaking to us and leading us to express generosity and thanks. Know that as we begin this stewardship season, gifts of all sizes are welcome. And for us to maintain our current ministry, we need those who have not yet begun to give regularly to Calvary to do so, at whatever level makes sense to you as you are able. And for those of us who already give regularly, we need a lot of us to increase our pledges and gifts as we are able for the upcoming year. We all know that costs are rising in the world, and the church is no different. Damon and I will be increasing our gifts because we are able, and we're thankful to God for that, and we hope that many of you will join us. Begin now prayerfully considering your financial commitment to this church that I think contributes to your wellness and to the wellness of our world. We'll celebrate our generosity together on Commitment Sunday, November 12th. And, you know, as the ministries of this calendar year continue, and as we enter meaningful programs of the holiday season, we're so grateful for your tithes and offerings today. Our ushers will now come and receive our gifts.